Welcome to Hyde County, North Carolina. More specifically, Englehart. It is a small town with 413 residents on the very edge of the state's mainland. For reference, the nearest hospital is almost 70 miles away. In such a secluded place, people are free to do what they want and to decide how they want to do it. When people think about the words rural America, a place like Englehart will come to mind. However, there is so much more than can what be said with this passing glance or stereotype. Englehart has some of the most fertile soil in the world. One of the two main industries here is farming, harnessing the cultivational properties of the land. Corn, soybeans, wheat, cotton, green beans, watermelons, you name it, it will grow here. The other industry is commercial fishing and crabbing. A massive amount of seafood comes from coastal North Carolina, so much so that most of that famous Maryland crab you hear all about actually comes from Englehart and the surrounding towns. Crews will leave the docks for days to weeks at a time to trawl the waters of the Pamlico Sound for shrimp, mackerel, cod, dolphinfish, and tuna. The crabbers will go out and set hundreds to thousands of these crab pots. Each weighs about 25 pounds empty. Full of crabs, they'll get up to 70 pounds. For the days that they're out in the water, all the crews do is haul nets and pull pots. It's hard work for hard people. Some people here don't even have a high school diploma, but they know more about currents and waves, winds and storms, fish and migration, and equipment than you would ever think to exist. However, some of this knowledge was given to them the hard way. Farming also has its fair share of challenges to prep for the planting season. Every spring, torrential downpours render the fields soaked, if not completely submerged. To mitigate this, farmers must build pumps and pump stations to move the water into the irrigation and drainage canals. If it rains during the night, a farmer will rise with the sun to go cut on his pump so the fields do not turn entirely to mud, making it impossible to plant that year's crop. Depending on the sizes of the pump and engine, these vital machines are able to move anywhere from 30,000 to 50,000 gallons of water every single minute. Another vital part of living here is the familial machines. Parents, daughters, sons, they all have jobs important to keep the system running. The father of this family in particular is RC. He takes care of the more dangerous tasks on the farm, like the preparation of the land for the latest crop by the killing of pest plants such as morning glory, alligator weed, lamb's quarter, and phragmites. To do so, he sprays hundreds of gallons of herbicide. Which chemical is used depends on the crop, but in this case, the only one being sprayed is Roundup. RC also works with other farmers to Frankenstein old machines together to make a running piece of equipment that does whatever task it is needed to do. A daily occurrence is the need for maintenance on farm equipment. There is no AAA for tractors, and no farmer would trust any mechanic with the machines that allow him to make a living. Maintenance and repair is up to the individual farmer, where measurement and precision are vital to success. To perform this task, every farmer has his workshop, complete with heavy machinery, racks of tools, and old jacks set up in positions that would be flagrant OSHA violations if anyone in such a rural place had enough time to worry about federal regulations. This process almost always involves the cutting and welding of metal onto the broken machine. Sparks fly as blinding light throws warm glows onto farmers' faces. To sustain such intense use of resources, almost nothing goes to waste. Even what normally would be viewed as trash is repurposed. Even an old coffee can is able to be used to organize tools. Back at the house, there is still work to be done by the rest of the family. RC has a 15-year-old daughter named Harley, as well as a 17-year-old son named Corey. They both work to take care of farm animals, like breaking horses so they don't buck riders and get used to humans. They also make sure the animals are adequately fed, watered, and keep the stables clean so the animals aren't forced to live in their own excrement. Under the care of Corey and Harley, all animals that live on the Davis' farmland have good and sometimes leisurely lives. One animal that stands out from the rest is the dog. Every household will have at least one, as they serve a very important purpose in living in areas like Englehart. Dogs such as this German Shorthair will guard the house and the property from coyotes, wolves, and raccoons. Others, like this Mullins Feist, will hunt down smaller animals and squirrels, chewing holes in the house and damaging the fuel lines on the equipment. All doing this while still being a morale-boosting presence in the family. People here need to work together to ensure that at the end of the day, the table has food. Thanks to cooperation between all parties, families and industries survive without infrastructure that is taken for granted in more populated areas. The results of this teamwork can be seen in the massive expanses of fields and the winding canals. Without constant upkeep, this would be overgrown and reclaimed into nature in a matter of years. As the day comes to an end, one of the most beautiful things in the county happens. As the sun lowers in the sky, the town quiets, almost as a call that the work is finished and it's time to relax for the night. Finally, dusk falls, with the sky's color cooling to a dark blue, and the only light left warming where the sun set moments ago with a purplish red and yellow. The birds hush, the insects quiet, and the people of Engelhard sleep to prepare for a new day.